In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the fabric of reality itself and understanding how to shift through collective timelines. This is a totally new perspective I haven't shared before. However, I think it will change the way you view life. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you that of understanding the fabric of how reality works, understanding the microcosm, macrocosm, and also understanding collective timeline shifts that happen so that you can know how you can navigate to the ideal reality that you prefer to experience. And this is going to be something that also has to do with you understanding how you can tap into more of your true power of who you are. Because when we are unconscious of certain forces in our life, certain things that are influencing us, we kind of remain in that autopilot mind and we continue to experience a reality that is equal to that autopilot mind. Now, just to give it a little bit of a basis, when you look at reality and what you experience in your life, you experience a reflection of what you believe to be true, and you also experience a reflection of your vibration. Now, your vibration is a combination of what you think, how you feel, and how you act. These three things make up your vibration. When you change your vibration, you change the reality that you experience. Now, think of it like this. Your beliefs, if you believe the world is a good place, if you believe the world is a bad place, whatever belief you have is the filter through which you see the world. And what happens is then you will tune to all the things that reaffirm reality and things are good in life or the opposite of it. So this is why it's really important to understand that of our beliefs, because our beliefs are creating our reality. There's many times people will reach out to me on social media. They'll be like, how do I do this when this is this way? Like, it's the belief is inherent in the definition itself. How do I always attract this type of person? How do I stop doing that? Well, you have a belief that you always attract this type of person. So the power of this is the more aware you become of your beliefs is the more aware you become of how you can shift your life. Because this is the thing. Normally the way people think we create our own reality is like we create it out of nothing. There is no such thing as creating something out of nothing because everything already exists here and now. It is about tuning to the vibration of what you want to experience. And the same way, the television set doesn't create the television frequencies, it just picks up on frequencies that already exist. So if you want to experience what's on a certain channel, what you do is you tune to that frequency and you experience it, but you don't have to create it because all frequencies exist here and now. So it's about tuning. It's about tuning to that vibration. Now, this is why it's important to understand your vibration, how you think, how you feel, how you act, and the correlation through which you are experiencing your world and what you experience in your life. Because when you become aware of that, that is when you start to gain your power back. Now, the thing is there is this microcosm, macrocosm of understanding the way the whole relates to itself. So, this is the thing, and I don't mean for this to be scary by any means. I'm just calling it like I see it. And the more aware we are of it without giving it a negative charge is the more we take our power back. So, you may notice that when you watch the news, it keeps you within a certain frequency range. It keeps you within certain belief systems of the world is bad, that you better give your power away, or you better be fearful of what's happening in the world. This is a certain station of belief. This is a certain way of seeing the world, and it keeps you, its intention, or if you've noticed 99% of what you see on TV or on the news is negative, there's a reason behind that. I mean, a lot of people don't sit around and think, why is every single thing that you see on the news negative? Like as if that's all that's happening in the world. Why is that what triggers us? Well, we've been conditioned to think that that's what's important. However, that's not the case. Now, the reason I say this is because the way reality works is that we came into this system of reality. We came into this reality because at a greater level, we are immortal spiritual beings living temporary human experiences. We came here to make change. We came here to learn how to manifest what we want. We came here to learn how to manipulate energy. That's why we're here on Earth, because on Earth, things are slowed down. We have this thing of cause and effect, where what you put out is what you get back. In the higher dimensions, things happen instantly. We have much more flexibility with abilities, but here we can slow things down so that we can learn more in a period of time versus everything happen instantaneously. So we come here to learn. Now the thing is collectively together, we are in this together. Exactly. So we're in this together, and because of that, what happens is there's a lot of the information is primed and put a certain way so that we stay tuned within a certain frequency band. Now this doesn't need to be a negative thing. When I first went through my spiritual awakening in 2012, I gave this a lot of importance, and I realized that I ended up feeding it because I was giving it so much attention. I'm aware of it, but I choose to focus on other things, and I choose to take power and empower myself to focus on what I want. So the reason I say this is because when the billions of people on the planet are focused on certain outcomes and certain beliefs about how reality works, that's what keeps the structure of that reality in place. So we may have billions of people who believe that the world itself has to have war. So that's a belief system that's been perpetuated because there was like a thought about it. There's been history in the past of it. So it continues to be something in the collective unconsciousness. And then what happens is they keep on having that perpetuated and infused into us with the news, with what's happening in the world. And we think that that's just the way it is. So therefore we collectively shift to the reality of that war or whatever it is. Now on this same token of this, as they've showed with what is called the Maharishi effect, when you have 7,000 meditators that are focused on a single intention of love and compassion, it can powerfully transform that of the whole entire planet. And the way they did this is they were able to measure that violent crimes went down by over 70% by having 7,000 people focus in that way. That is the power of meditation, and many people focused on one outcome, on one timeline. So the power in this is knowing that the limitations we set in our mind are many times just hand-me-downs from other people. They're hand-me-downs from the way that we think the world works. They're hand-me-downs from our parents. It's about being aware of this because we are many times just going along with that of the collective consciousness. Now, in the same way that we have an energy field around our body, we all have an energy field around our body, and within this energy field is our thoughts, our feelings, patterns. And what we do is as we go through life, we have different thoughts about the way reality works. We have this energy field. And when we go out into the world, we experience situations that reflect that energy field back to us. Now, in the same way that we have this energy field that goes beyond our body, there is an energy field that goes around the earth. And within this energy field, there's the collective consciousness. It is the many thoughts of many different people that exist within the field of the earth. Now, a lot of times you may be thinking, I'm thinking my own thoughts right now, but you may be also influenced by the thoughts of the environment you're in. If you go to a courthouse, you may start to feel kind of worrisome, just because there's a lot of other people that have felt worrisome going to a courthouse. You may go on someone may cut you off on a road, and then you say, oh, that person cut me off. You may get angry, but also there's been thousands of other people that have been cut off on that same road in that same location. So these thought forms. Understand, thoughts are literally things. That thoughts we may not visibly see, but thoughts still have this electromagnetic pattern. So when you go places, there's an energetic pattern to the places you're going, to the people that you're around, to the objects that you touch. Be aware of this. Don't have to give it too much meaning or too much importance. I'm just saying be aware of it. In the same way, understand there's this collective consciousness around the planet. Now, we are shifting from parallel reality to parallel reality every second. Now what happens is when there's a certain event that happens that billions of people focus on, it then shifts them to more of those kind of experiences. So you may notice that in movies sometimes there are certain ideas that are implanted, and as billions or millions, not billions, but as millions of people see a certain movie, what happens is they are consciously putting that into the collective consciousness system. So once again, I'm not saying any of this to make you scared. This is actually very empowering because you're able to take your power back. But you're able to also understand how this reality works. Because yes, there may be people that have these intentions of controlling that collective consciousness. So what they do is they make these Hollywood movies, and some of them will have these negative things of, oh, ETs are bad or this or that, and they may prime in a certain way. That goes into the collective unconsciousness with symbolism, with different triggers, and then people watch it, millions of people watch it, and it grows in that collective consciousness system. Now, the key knowing this is all of us are where the power is. We don't have to keep on living through that unconscious of that collective consciousness system of how things are working. We can choose our own reality, and when we come together and we start to have these beliefs that reality can be different, that's when things begin to change. Because us collectively are what sets the rules for this reality. Us collectively. So many of us believe that this is the way reality works. Therefore, that keeps on building that example. There's beliefs that you have to go to school and do this and work your way up in a company in order to be successful. Many people will buy into that. But that's just a belief system that people buy into. It doesn't have to be the case. But if you're in the autopilot mind, you will continue to create along those lines. So the key to this is being aware of your vibration, how you think, act, and feel, and understanding your reality is always going to be something that you experience that's equal to those three things. And then from there, choosing what you tune to. Because remember, the reality you want to experience, it already exists. You don't have to create it in the same way a television set, you don't have to create the channels. A television doesn't create the channels. A television just tunes to the channel that already exists. And the cool thing is all those channels exist at the same time. So you can shift from one channel to the next channel. You can shift from a channel of scarcity to a channel of abundance. And you do so with your focus and the conscious choice to do so. With the awareness that yes, both are realities, both exist. You can have this perspective of not feeling worthy or feeling scarcity, but do you prefer that? And when you start to see that whatever you are buying into is going to be your reality, you can change where you put your focus. Your focus is your currency. So if you start to instead focus your currency on that of what actually serves you, you stop buying into things that don't serve you. Because if you buy into things that don't serve you, you will continue to create a momentum of that over and over and invest yourself over and over into realities you don't prefer to experience. So change your focus, you change your currency, and the currency is what you buy into. Your currency is also, think of it as a current, think of it as energy. So change your energy, you literally change your life. So this is about being aware of this collective mind, that we're all connected to, and that things, yes, in the past have been in a way controlled and put in a certain direction, but you can take your power back. And you do so by making the choice to put your focus where you want to go and to put your focus in beliefs that actually serve you. If you look around right now, you will find evidence that the world is a scary place, but you will also find evidence that the world is an amazing place. It's a very compassionate place. It all depends upon your beliefs and your focus. So begin to be aware of what you are tuning to. The reality you want to experience, it already exists. You don't have to create it. You simply have to choose it in the same way that you would choose the channel on a television. They all exist at the same time. It's about being aware of that. Collectively, we are all shifting our consciousness. The more people become aware of this, the more that we will begin to grow this new level of collective consciousness that doesn't have so much influence from that of the media or all these other intentions. Now, once again, don't think of it as negative. Think of it as just it is. It is what it is, but we are changing it. We are becoming more aware. Because the more you resist something, the more it actually grows. That is the key. So understand that you are so much more powerful than you can imagine. Collectively together, we are creating this reality based on our belief systems. As we change our belief systems, we change what is possible for us. You are capable of so much more than you can imagine, and the way you start living up to it is by letting go of the autopilot mind, and it is by making the choice to buy into yourself more. So, something else I'll be doing, I've been doing a lot of this lately, is more live Q&As on Instagram, and I bring people on. It's really cool. If you want to join me there, you can go ahead and click right here, you'll see my Instagram. And you can follow me there. I also post twice a day there as well. Also, I have the most powerful meditation for shifting through parallel realities. I'm going to go ahead and link that below. Listen to it for 21 days. I think it'll change your life. If you also look at the comments on that video, you'll see what is possible. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the little notification gear next to the subscribe button so that you can see the daily vids that I do. And other than that, as always, peace, much love, and namaste.